Finally done doing everything I want to do on this. Got some people up on my stats. Didn't take everyone I want off my stats yet, though. Anyways, let's talk about the actual game now. They somehow made the women's roster smaller, and there was nobody I liked on it besides AJ Lee. Of course, some of them I don't know the best. I did watch older WWE when I was younger, but I've taken multiple breaks from WWE because it's just not the same. It really wasn't that good even 10 years ago, but it was way better than it is now. Anyway, that's besides the point. AJ Lee, Asanka, all I really remember her for is the Goldust segment with when Goldust broke up with her during a kinda racist thing. And I kinda know Layla. I know Caitlyn, but I didn't really care for her. And then they just threw in a legend, Lita, Natalya, and Stephanie McMahon as the weakest women character in the game. And for some reason, AJ Lee is one of the second weakest ones, even though she is champion in this game. So that just shows how much they respected their women back then. And the most they would go, they give women anything good, was Lita got a 79. And the weakest character in the game is Jinder Mahal with an 80. And speaking of that, this is Jinder Mahal's only game until 2K18, because they fired him not too long after. And he's somehow still in the company after all the talented people they fired. He's not absolute trash, but I've never really seen his potential as being a good wrestler or a main eventer. Anyways, 30 years of WrestleMania was decent, though they picked not really the best matches. They were just like, well, let's do Hulk Hogan a bunch, let's do Stone Cold a bunch, let's do The Rock a bunch, let's do Cena a bunch. And then occasionally we'll give you a match where you unlock a person. Like there's one match with Razor Ramon, there's one match with Ricky Steamboat. They just didn't really care. Why couldn't we have got someone like Typhoon or Vader? Personally, those are one of my favorites, but still. They did not really do anything besides give you 50 fucking Alta tires for already popular wrestlers. And then that's what you mostly played. And then several of these matches were actually in the previous game, WWE 13, and they were also in 2K16, which comes out like 2 years after this game. They just kept reusing some of the same Stone Cold matches, because they kept putting Stone Cold in these type of things. Believe it or not, Stone Cold didn't have 5 matches in his career. Just because they were iconic doesn't mean you need to keep doing them. I don't want to play the same matches over and over again. And I can't just skip it or I can't continue. All I gotta do is just try and beat it fast because I don't care anymore. Anyways, let's talk about some more stuff. Defend the Streak. Defend the Streak was not what I thought it was gonna be. I thought you were gonna play as Undertaker, beat one person, and then you beat another one. Turns out, it's a KO match where people just keep coming in. You can either KO them, make them tap, or you can pin them. I would mostly pin them. Sometimes I would even do it off basic moves, and sometimes it would work. And I've only played this mode once as the actual defend the streak thing. And I got all the way up to 42, and Ted DiBiase made me tap by putting me in a single leg Boston Crab. I don't even think that was his signature or finisher. But I was low on health, so. But I haven't really tried it since then. The first time I tried it, it was me versus Daniel Bryan. And I was like, really? I didn't even get to pick who I fight, so I just quit and didn't play it for a while. Then I played it and it was really fun. It's very time consuming though. And let's talk about the actual defeat the streak. Defeat the streak. I did not do it besides a few times. I beat the absolute crap out of him with Cody Rhodes. And I didn't realize how tough he was going to be. I got beat pretty fast my first try. Tombstone, 1, 2, 3. I think it was like a 3-minute match. So then I decided to do a tactic and fight him outside the ring. I did so many crossroads. So many Alabama slams. So many spears through barricades. Kicking his face into the ringside pole. Beating the crap out of him with the bell. Just everything I could. Putting him through the announce table. I'd throw him in the ring. Hit him with a finisher. Teleport behind me. First time that happened, I ran away. And then I stumbled right back into him for a tombstone. The other time I slid out the ring. So, I was adapting, but I just couldn't beat him. He actually did a fall-away slam, which made me realize a mechanic in the game that I didn't know. And I landed on the ring bell that I was beating him up with earlier. And it rang when I hit it. And I thought it was a very cool moment. Then I tried to beat him with CM Punk. That didn't really go anywhere. I don't know why. It was not good. CM Punk's a 95, Cody's an 89. And I just was not very good with CM Punk against Undertaker particularly. Most of my matches were like 4 minutes with him. I think I got a 10-minute match, but I barely did anything. He just loved reversing my moves. Kondo Vice didn't do shit either because he kept using resiliency. I think that's all I really did. I was planning on doing Wade Barrett and Rey Mysterio and trying some other people, Darren Young, Titus O'Neil, but I never got to it. I probably will do it eventually, and I might beat him eventually, but it is a hard match, so it's not something I want to rush to when I have a bunch of other WWE games that I want to play, and I've already done most of the stuff I want to do. You unlock Eddie Guerrero for doing a certain match in this game because of a match that Eddie won. And they kind of skimmed him out on this game. I don't even really like Eddie. I've never been a huge fan of him. I don't dislike him or anything. But they show him multiple times during 30 years of WrestleMania in pictures, but he's not in a single match. And some of these WrestleMania matches they picked are very questionable. Some are like really iconic. Some of them I've never even watched, but I recognize them just because of how, well known they are. I just know it by the people in it. Then there's other ones where I know them very well that I've seen multiple times. And there's other ones that I've at least heard of. And then there's ones like Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar that everybody hated that they only put in the game so you can unlock Goldberg, because why else did they put it in the game? Everybody hated that. And then they put really iconic ones in, like Miz versus Cena, which is still brought up to this day about how Miz beat up Cena at WrestleMania. You got CM Punk versus Undertaker. I don't remember who Ricky Dragon Steamboat fought, but I thought that was a good one. But yeah, there's so many of them. Eventually, we get to the 30th one and you think they're done because they only did one match for each year for some reason until we get to 2013 when this game came out. They do like 4 different matches. And hallelujah, we get to see John Cena versus The Rock a second time. I remember when they first hyped up that match that it was a once in a lifetime. Then they did it again. And then they immortalized it in this game for their stupid decisions. You unlock the Slobber Knocker match once you defend the streak, or at least play it. You get a trophy that says win or lose. Just play it out to its entirety. The first time I didn't, so I didn't get it. But I only did it twice. I did it as Wade Barrett and only got to number 6. Triple H hit me with 2 pedigrees. He hit me with 1 on the ground. I kicked out. Got to the top rope. He hit me with a catching pedigree because I completely forgot about that. 1, 2, 3. I'm not a huge fan of the kick-out systems in the old games, but once I get to playing them for a while, it's not that bad. But they're still not the best. That's the only reason I don't play 2K15 that much. Because of the old kick-out system. But I still try and play it more often because it's on the PS4. And then I did it with Daniel Bryan. And I lost at like number 12. I don't remember who I lost to though. But his running knee in this game, most of the time, nobody will reverse it. And it's way different from the one he has on the new games, like 19 and 20. No, not 20, because that's when he turned heel and they got rid of that move. So like 19 and 18 and 17, where he goes in the corner and he does his little yes chant and then he runs at you. So it's a corner finisher. In this game, you just run. Like the brogue kick. So it's a pretty OP at times, and sometimes I do the yes lock. It is a very enjoyable game, but they did take some things out. The main thing they took out, like I said earlier, was a bunch of women. We lost Beth Phoenix, Karma, and we lost the Bella Twins. I don't care about them, but we did lose them, so I have to acknowledge it. And we lost a match that I personally loved in WWE 13. The Championship Scramble match. It's just gone now. That was... WWE 13 was the last game it was in, apparently. And that was the first one I played it in. Also lost a few wrestlers. They'll come back just a few games later. We lost the Coen Brothers. Personally, one of my favorite tag teams that deserved way better. I'm pretty sure Primo, I don't remember what his name is in the Indies, but he won a world title in the Indies. It might be Epico. I get them confused sometimes. Even though they're not even like brothers. They're cousins. The brothers are Primo and Carlito. It's kind of like Akam and Razor. I always get them confused, even though they don't even look that similar. But they look similar enough. And they wear similar outfits and similar hairstyles. Anyways, we lost the Coen Brothers. We lost a few other people. We just lost quite a few people, but we did gain some good people. We got Drew McIntyre. Though I'm pretty sure he was DLC in WWE 13, so. We got the Shield finally making their debut. And a few other people. Nobody I can think of off the top of my head. But I know there was quite a few new people in this game that I did enjoy playing as. Though, unfortunately, someone that I do like playing as, I did not like playing as in this game, and that's not even because of his playstyle. Zack Ryder. His haircut looks terrible in this game. It does not look terrible on the loading screen, but in the actual game, it looks so bad. I don't know who approved letting them put that in the game, but no. No thanks. It was terrible. I hardly played as Zack just because of that reason. I think I played him 4 times in this game. It wouldn't be a problem if they didn't introduce the hair dye until like 2K17. I'm not sure if it's in 16. But yeah, poor Zack. He's immortalized in 2K14 with a terrible haircut. At least he's in like almost all the games. Until Battlegrounds in 22. And 15. Because he was excluded and then added right back, which makes no sense to me. Same with Sin Cara and a few other people. They weren't in 15, but they were immediately in 16. Just because they wanted a bigger roster, I guess. Yeah, WrestleMania mode was fun. They just used so many people too much. Just proves that they overuse people and over-rely on people. There's not one match at WrestleMania, believe it or not. So you can use other people. But yeah, that's about it. It's pretty fun. I do recommend it. Though I like WWE 13 better just because it has a better roster, in my opinion, and more women wrestlers. Oh, and they also have Mankind in the game, but they didn't want to buy the rights or something, I guess, to use him in the game. Because they had already used him in WWE 13 or something. I don't know why. But they have him in WrestleMania. But you can't play as him. But you can play as Mick Foley. They give you like 3 different attires for him. Of course, they have the iconic Edge versus Mick Foley match where Edge spears him through a flaming table. And then there's another one that I don't remember. There's at least 4 matches with Mick Foley, I'm pretty sure. So I don't know why they wouldn't go at it and put Mankind in too. And since they were doing the shit where you play a certain match, you can unlock a certain person, they should have did that with a few other legends. If they so wanted to overuse a certain character over and over and over again in WrestleMania so bad, can we at least get a few legends here and there that you do certain things and you can unlock them? Like, hey, you can get, I don't know, Rick Rude for making someone bleed with a certain weapon. Like, if they had a microphone in the game, since he did use the microphone during his entrance. I don't know, I'm not the one that comes up with the ideas, but since they were already doing things to add legends to the game that weren't in the WrestleMania mode, why not add other legends like that? And I do think it is a literal crime that Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was not in more WrestleMania matches. He's a very iconic wrestler. But hey, at least you got to play as Hulk Hogan like 10 fucking times. Yeah, great game. Definitely recommend it.